at the McEwen Petroleum Waimate 50. There is a replica of the original Waimate 50 trophy being held up by Rob Aikman. Red flag comes up. That means the engines will be fired and we'll be underway very shortly with the Ellis-Lea Farms feature race. On the front row, it is the G-Man, past New Zealand Trans Am champion. That is Grant Sylvester. Alongside of him, it is Brett Stevens from Motueka in what I make is probably his third collectible car, and that is the Chevy-powered Renault Dauphine. Next row back, it is the battle of the Triple S Datsuns. It is Randall Diggs and Bruce Brown. Then we go back to Stuart Jack, by the look of it, in the XU1 Tirana, and then it's one of the Densham family in the Mark 1 Escort. In there as well as Gavin Jackson in the Triumph 2000, 2.7 PI. Behind him, Morgan Wallace in the Mark 2 Jag. Further down through, you can see the purple little Anglia. That is Neil Green. Away we go, 6 laps to complete the Ellis-Lea Farms Invitational, and a great start from Motueka's Brett Stevens. Grant Sylvester slots into second place. Randall Diggs has got the better of Bruce Brown. He'll go into third as they head down into Slee Street and start what should be a pretty epic battle. Sylvester wrestling the 38 Chev around these 90-degree turns. We'll get a bit of a glow on him, but it'll be more than a glow. It'll be a sweat up by the time he's finished 6 laps. No such luxury as power steering in a lot of these cars. All of them with historical significance right through New Zealand motor racing, but certainly, as you heard Rob say, this car at the front of the field, the car piloted and into the folklore of New Zealand motor racing by Ron Sylvester. It's his son Grant driving it today. Already starting to get a little bit of a break now in front of Brett Stewart. Looks like Bruce Brown's got up in front of Randall Diggs there. There's Keith Fleury in the VW just going by. Behind him in the ex-Jim Palmer XU1, that's John Marsland. So it is the iconic number 66 out in the front at the moment. Bruce Brown wants to get a little bit closer there. This is Randall Diggs in the Datsun Triple S. Gavin Jackson in second in the sales rep's favourite from the 70s, and that's the Triumph PI. Then it is the Renault. Then it's Grant Sylvester, just the last of the late breakers, and soaring on the wheels, trying to get those big front tyres turned in time to keep Bruce Brown at bay, and he's managed to do it as they work their way through the Laurie Forestry chicane and out onto the main street here, Queen Street at Waimate. Sylvester wants to argue the spot, goes to the outside as they run into the Scott Structural 90-degree turn and head down towards the Pro Event chicane this time. Randall Diggs decides he needs to move in. He doesn't want to brush the tyre stacks that make up the chicane as they head through the Rural Transport corner down towards the Waimate Event Centre. You get a great look at that 38 Chevy getting a little bit of pressure coming to Sylvester now from Brett Stevens. Barry Brown moves up in front of Stuart Jack, move into a spot in the little Datsun Triple S. He goes up into 4th place now. In fact, make it 3rd. Sylvester's gone back into the front, but they're side by side as they head down onto Queen Street once again. Track position this time comes from Brett Stevens. Will he assume the lead as they go down towards the Royal Tavern? We're watching the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Sylvester working hard to keep Brett Stevens at bay. Good recovery from Randall Diggs, putting the pressure on Chris Fleury now. So Datsun on VW. Then we go back to Stuart Jack. Well, it's one of the most recognisable cars in New Zealand motor racing. That is the 1938 Chevy Coupe of Ron Sylvester, being raced by his son here, Grant, as Brett Stevens goes up in front of him in the little Renault Dauphine that's got a 327 Chevy small block sitting just behind the passenger's seat, mid-mounted. Gavin Jackson gets all racy, tries to get around the outside of Stuart Jack, and I think manages to do so. So the laps wind down here in the Ellis-Lea Farms Historic Saloons. Who's going to see the checkered flag first? Sylvester inches his way into the front, tries the wide line. Brett Stevens uses the little bit more nimbler handling of the Renault to try and get up into 1st place. Can't get the job done for the moment, though. Through the Laurie Forestry chicane they go, 3 abreast. That's not going to work. They're going to squeeze themselves back into single file as they turn out of the chicane and head towards the finish line here. Sylvester in the front, making that Chevy as wide as possible. It's pretty wide anyway, so he doesn't have to work too hard doing that, but you can see him really soaring on the wheel. If you watching on the live stream or you're watching on the big screen here at Waimate, this is coming down to a pretty exciting conclusion. Gavin Jackson making moves there. Randall Dix trying to get around him, can't do it. Fleury just in front of them in the VW. Then we go back to the second of the Tiranas. The G-Man trying to get the power down on the small black Chevy in the Ron Sylvester coupe, manages to do so. Clinging to that inside line is Brett Stewart from Motueka in the Reno. That's the battle at the front of the field for the moment. Let's see how this one's going to turn out. Originally scheduled to go over 6. Here comes Stevens making a bit of a dive. Can he get round the outside as they head down through the Scott Structural corner? Into the pro event chicane they go. Diggs has gone back into the front using the handling ability of the little Triple S Datsun under the Rollinson Engineering Bridge, heading towards the Lethwick Contracting corner. So there's laps still to go here, and it is Randall Diggs out in the front. Jams his foot hard on the throttle as he heads under the pedestrian bridge and up into Main Street once again. Lines it up for the 90-degree turn through the Harcourts corner and gets it wrong, and that allows Sylvester and Stewart and Bruce Brown to go through. So a problem there for Randall Diggs. He just got the timing a little bit wrong, was way off his line, and he did the sensible thing and got out of the way and let the quick boys go through. And done quicker at the moment than Brett Stevens in the Reno. Here's Herbie the Love Bug with the 53 number. This is Chris Fleury in the 1300S VW. So they're in danger of being lapped as the front runners get closer and closer. Sylvester still leads it. Brett Stevens is second. Gavin Jackson shuffled his way back into third place now. We're on the last lap here at Waimate. This is the Ellis-Lea Farms Historic Saloons feature event. And Fleury in danger of being lapped here as he works his way round the Royal Tavern turn, down the short chute. Here's the race leader, just backing up the field a little bit. Brett Stevens once again looking for an inside run, can't find it. Through the Laurie Forestry chicane they go once again. They'll pop out onto Main Street. Is Sylvester going to claim a win here? The ex-New Zealand Trans Am champion about to swallow up the VW of Chris Fleury. Does so quite effortlessly. Once again, he's right up on the outside as he goes through the Scott Structural 90-degree turn, heading down towards the Pro Event chicane now, and then they'll be turning into the Rural Transport corner. Remember, they're running to the checkered flag. Is it going to be the oldest car in the field? That is the 1938 Chevy Coupe, run and made historic by Ron Sylvester. This is his son Grant at the wheel now. They call him the G-Man. Is the G-Man going to see the checkered flag first? Under the Rollison's Engineering Bridge they go, and it is Grant Sylvester carrying the day here in the Ellis-Lea Farms Invitational feature event. In second place, I think it might have been the Triumph of Gavin Jackson. I know Bruce Brown was in the mix as well. Well, it's been a hard road to hoe for Rob and the organisers to get side-by-side racing back here at the Waimate 50, but their persistence has certainly paid off. This is always a highlight of the weekend.
Number one would be the team at Waimate. I know we can't name them all, but Rob Aikman and the family, just incredible mission, and has hundreds of workers that assist and do a beautiful job. One thing also, to have everybody together, be it the motorbike crew, the drifting crew, the circuit crew, the rally crew, having everyone together in one spot, you won't find that anywhere else in New Zealand. So thank you very much, Waimate. Thank you to McEwen's for supported it for so long. And yeah, a massive thank you to all the other sponsors that have assisted, and of course all the assistants, all the helpers. We couldn't do it without you guys. So thank you very much. Thank you, Waimate. Beautiful.
And this is the man that has taken out the Ellis-Lea Farms Invitational feature. Now have a look at this. Anything the drifters can do, a 1938 Chevy can do as well.
A great victory for Grant Sylvester, the 60th running of the Waimate 50. Well, we'll be back shortly with the ITM Street Attack.